the president just announced that he named his deputy White House chief of staff, Bill Shine. Larry Klayman, who also established Judicial Watch, told conservative talk show host Michael Savage in an interview just yesterday that, quote, what Shine is alleged to have done is far worse than anything Pruitt did. Obviously, he's referring to Scott Pruitt, who also resigned, who was head of the EPA yesterday. He also continues saying he doesn't need this aggravation at a time he is appointing a Supreme Court justice and dealing with Iran, North Korea, and illegal immigration and all other issues. I really care about the president, Klayman said. I want him to do the right thing. As I think you know, Bill Shine was formerly president of Fox and was fired from Fox News in the wake of the Roger Ailes scandal. Roger Ailes reportedly coerced women into having sex with him and at times videotaped them for blackmail purposes. Again, allegedly, Bill Shine was Ailes' right-hand man for many years. And here's what CNN reports. Lisa Bloom, an attorney involved in several lawsuits, tweeted this, quote, having represented several Fox News accusers, let me tell you, it's worse than that. Mr. Shine has been accused over and over again of covering up for accused harassers, Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, and others, while the women were driven out of the industry entirely. Hashtag fill the swamp. Alan, do you think it was a wise move for the president to go with someone like Bill Shine?
It doesn't sound like it to me. I don't like the frequent use of the word accused. People should not be refused the job because of accusations. There should be hard proof. I don't know the hard proof. Certainly, I feel very strongly that no harassment should ever be tolerated in the workplace, and anybody who engaged in proved harassment should be fired and certainly should have no place in any administration. But I don't think accusations are enough. I do think you have to have an evidentiary process and proof. But based on everything I've heard, this does not sound to me like a decision that will help the president or help the country. But I don't know enough of the facts to make a final determination.
So, Professor, continuing on that, Larry Klayman, of course, who's here on Newsmax with us often, who also heads Freedom Watch, was on Newsmax yesterday, and what he said was, well, Larry's calling for the Manhattan DA and federal prosecutors in New York, presumably the Southern District of New York, to review the allegations against Shine, including possible obstruction of justice in multiple harassment cases. Do you think Shine's involvement in what happened over at Fox News needs to be reviewed by these authorities, by these prosecutorial agencies? And should that have been done before he was appointed for the White House comms job?
I would hope that the White House did appropriate vetting to make sure that these allegations are not validated. Again, if the evidence is there, I have no problem with ordinary prosecutors doing their ordinary job of looking at the facts. But I don't want people being targeted just because they're appointed to something to be targeted. If there was enough previously to go after him, probably they should have. If there wasn't enough then, what has been added to it now? The fact that he's in a job? Well, that's for the White House to determine. Look, this is complicated. We live in a world where accusations are believed, accusations against the right are believed by the left, accusations against the left are believed by the right. The role of evidence has diminished. The role of real objective truth has diminished. And I think we have to get rid of partisan truth and introduce objective truth based on facts.
Alan, I promise we're going to switch gears, but just one more on this. Lori Lunn, a former Fox employee, it was reported in New York Magazine and Vanity Fair that she was kept involuntarily detained in a New York hotel room for as many as 6 weeks by Fox executives, including Shine. She says that she was heavily medicated. She says Shine blocked her from directly communicating with her family. Fox and Shine, well, they deny this, but the network did pay her $3.1 million, and her settlement agreement says that she specifically was not allowed to contact the FBI. You have been a lawyer for a long time, deeply admired and respected. Does this sound serious enough to you? And if there was nothing, then why was she paid $3 million to keep quiet?
Well, there are two issues. One, people are paid all the time by innocent people just to avoid the controversy, to avoid the disclosure. But you can't have an agreement that requires you not to speak to the FBI. That's an unlawful agreement that no court would uphold. If the FBI comes calling, if law enforcement comes calling, if you're subpoenaed, you have to testify. You have to speak unless you have a privilege. And having an agreement, a contractual agreement, is not a privilege. So that wouldn't be enough to foreclose her from testifying. Look, we ought to hear the evidence and make a decision. Sure. It's not based on only allegations.
Newsmax TV. Watch us on Dish, DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, Verizon Fios, or download our free app. Don't have Newsmax TV? Call your local cable provider and request Newsmax today.